All right, Aaron, it's been a little while. I think it's been a little over a week, but we're back. We're hitting chapter 10 of the Screwtape Letters. So I had to actually, I went through and reviewed it real quick again because it had been a few weeks since I actually looked at it. So, um, and yeah, it sounds like he's going after the influence of how we live, the duality of life between, as a Christian, and then get influenced by bad, how should I say, how we get influenced by people who aren't necessarily good for us.
Yeah, that's the whole point of this whole chapter, it looks like.
Yeah, it's funny how he kind of picked on right in the very beginning. C.S. Lewis kind of picked on the married couple who were rich, smart, superficially intellectual, and brightly skeptical about everything in the world. Um, and I'm not sure if what he was aiming for there. I mean, because obviously C.S. Lewis himself was a very smart man. He was, a college professor at Oxford. Was it Oxford? Yeah, I think it was Oxford. I can't remember now. But very smart, intelligent. Literary genius in many ways. So maybe he's drawing upon how he once was as that kind of smart, skeptical man. Maybe that's what he was pulling from when he was thinking about a person, a married couple, to be an influential to the character of the story. But
Yeah. I think superficial is the key word there
mhm.
that we can relate to in our time. Um, and maybe more than superficial. Obviously, in addition, they have these particular friends, someone and this patient who otherwise seems like a fairly smart and Christian. So they must have some sort of influence.
Yes, yes.
He wants to hang around them, I guess. And so,
Well, yeah, maybe what the point was is that these are characteristics that would draw somebody to want to hang out with them. You know, people are drawn to money, so people will be drawn to somebody who's rich. People are drawn to people who are smart. So yeah, maybe that's the point of the description. Is not to say that these particular people are a problem, other than their their characteristics are a draw. So
yeah, I think most social circles.
oh man, Aaron, your mic's going in and out again. So well, I'll go ahead and keep working on the discussion here a little bit as you work on your mic. Uh, so I think one thing that he was saying throughout this, as we associate with those around us in the social level that may not have the same beliefs as us, and don't don't look at the world through the eyes of Christianity, that there's a tendency, if you're not strongly grounded in your faith, to kind of play to the society or people you hang out with, um, and so we tend to uh, hide the truth of what we know. So we may, as C.S. Lewis says, uh, stay silent when we should speak, and speak and kind of laugh when we should stay silent. And I think um, the trick to it all is, all right, Aaron, I'm gonna have to stop the broadcast. Something's going on with your uh, mic there. So actually, I think what I'll do is I'm gonna put you on mute for a little bit, and just send me notes as you go along, and we'll try to get those included in the discussion, and do it that way. So yeah, so what we're looking at over here, and then is that as they're going through, he gets associated, used to the the duality of it, and so uh, by the time he realizes what kind of person he's becoming, it's kind of hard to withdraw from that. And yeah, and that's the thing, as you point out in your note here, Aaron, is that they're the friends speak in opposite to what he believes, and so he's living that duality of I want to be nice and friendly to this couple. At the same time, it's in opposition. So then he's trying to play both sides, and he ends up getting drawn away from his faith into, and then he doesn't realize he's being drawn into their uh, what they're basing it on. So, and later on, he says, all mortals tend to turn into the thing they are pretending to be. uh, quite a true comment, right? Uh, that we end up as we put on this facade and we try to control both lives, we end up moving towards the one that we don't, we're pretending to be, away from the truth. So I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on it, Aaron? So I've got you back on live. Yeah, it is hard for Christians to separate from old friends because yeah, they're comfortable, and we like to have our comfort. So we sometimes have trouble moving from that. Um, and one of the things that C.S. Lewis in the Screwtape Letter mentions is that yeah. So you said that we want to share faith with them, but can be in wrong relationship easily. Yeah. If we're not mature enough in our faith, instead of being influencers of them, they become influencers of us. And yeah, I think that one of the challenges is that he makes this mention, by it we rescue annually thousands of humans from temperance, chastity, and sobriety of life. And he refers to Puritanism as that, and passing it, yeah, and I forget what I was looking at there. Something about vanities, choice of friends, value of time. The choices that we make can pull us away from what God wants us to do. Um, and the living of two parallel lives is challenging. He says here, two parallel lives. He will not only appear to be, but actually be a different man in each circles he frequents. Um, how often do we hear in various churches, they go, okay, you're one person on Sunday and somebody else the rest of the week. We go back to work among our friends. We start acting like um, not like we did on Sunday, but we start acting completely different depending on the workplace we're in. We don't we swear we don't swear on Sunday, but then all throughout the week we swear, kind of thing, and that makes a mess of our our duality. And I think the funny thing is, look, we live in the society, the culture of these, the technology of social media, and in person we pretend to have all the righteous living on Sunday or in front of our friends, but then we get to the computer at home or on our phones and we see a post or something and all of a sudden we're ranting and raving and showing the complete opposite of how we said we were going to be, or even better is we get in a car and we get behind the wheel and then like, oh yeah, grace to everybody, until that person cuts us off. So uh, so it makes it very challenging to live that. So yeah, Yeah, so you're saying he also points out that it's easy to realize the character of the friends when they are absent, but not when present. The duality he mentions, the circles. Yeah, yeah. So it's challenging. Yeah, it's hard to identify that. Um, and I think it's the perception that the two sides of his life are inconsistent, and uh, I think that's it's interesting how the Screwtape saying um, to make mortal man will start to actually enjoy the idea that his lives are inconsistent, like he's getting away with it. And so you said here, Aaron, it's like when we get home and we wish we hadn't participated in a bad conversation. Yeah, we start to recognize the challenges we had. So I think in general, what we're coming down to out of this chapter is that we have to be careful that um, basically be careful of our friends. We have kids, and we're like, all right, we're gonna watch who you have friends with because we see your good friends and bad friends. We want your influence by your good friends. God's with it like that with us. Like, all right, you've got good friends and bad friends. If you're being influenced by bad friends, it's time to get rid of your bad friends. If you're influenced to your bad friends to be good towards the truth of God, then keep inviting to dinners and being that influence. But if it's the other way around, you need to be recognizing that to make sure you're not being influenced away from God, but towards Him. So, but I think that's a pretty straightforward one. Um, Sorry, Aaron, that you had technical difficulties in making a verbal part of the conversation. We'll make the best of it. We're amateurs at this YouTube world, so we'll do what we can. See what do we say here today? He ends pointing out that division with good friends results from hanging it with bad friends. Yeah, that's a good point. Bad friends can pull us from our good friends easily, can't they? So definitely is worth being discerning about who we hang out with. So yeah. Well, that's all I have for notes for tonight's discussion. Anything on your mind there, Aaron? Last minutes you want to type in there, or I don't know if your mic's working again, but if not, we'll close it out for tonight. We'll we'll pick up with chapter 11 next time, and we'll figure out a schedule for that. And thanks for listening.